through 3 games. What have you liked about the offense? Where do you guys need to get better from here?
I think we've played pretty well. There's always going to be things to improve on. I think we've ran the ball well. We've ran the ball efficiently. I think there's always going to be things to get better at. If you're as good as you're going to be in week 3, you're not going to be very good. So we're going to need to continue to improve week after week throughout the rest of the season in order to get to where we want to go. So we can clean up our pass protection a little more. I think that was something we need to do better from last week. But overall, everything, even our run game that we've done really efficiently so far, needs to continue to improve. There's still yards we feel we've left out there. So we're just going to continue to get better every single day.
For you physically, is this plan of just maintenance, missing a couple practices, going to be enough to keep you healthy?
Yeah, I think so. I think we've got a good plan going. At this point, I think we know what I need to do, what I don't need to do. And we'll just continue to go along with it and do what's necessary.
It's one thing for a veteran like you to miss practice and just be able to go into the game. But a second-year player like Wills, what's the challenge of him missing practice and then playing on Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy. A lot of it's the balance of mental reps and making sure your technique doesn't falter, making sure that you're ready to go physically as well. It's not easy to miss a lot of time and then go out there and execute everything you have to execute. So I think we continue to work with Jed and make sure he's, first off, feeling good. I think if you're going out there and you're not feeling good, it's really tough to do your job if you know what your job is. And then once you get, take care of his body, making sure he's ready to go, and that's what the walkthroughs are really important, the mental reps, the film. That's all really important for anybody that's trying to play with not a lot of practice time.
If I remember correctly, you played like 3/4 of a season on a high ankle sprain. Mm-hmm. Have you given Jed any advice just from your experience of what got you through week to week and allowed you at least to get out there and still play at a high level? Have you talked to him about just what you went through and how maybe that can help him?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody's different and everybody's injury is different and kind of what they're feeling and what bothers them. In the end, we really appreciate Jed battling. It's tough playing hurt, but we appreciate Jed going out there and working his tail off throughout the week to get as close to 100% as possible and going out there to fight for us.
JC, Players Association question. The Monday night playoff game into a turnaround.
Yeah.
Is that something you have a problem with, or are you cool with that?
Well, I think what everybody's biggest complaint was the potential 6-day rest or 6 days off before the next game. But I believe, we've already seen a ton of examples of that. The first week of the playoffs, everybody plays Sunday in week 17 and week 18 now. And then a bunch of teams play Saturday. So that's 6 days rest. I think last year, Baltimore played Sunday and then played Saturday of the divisional round. So there's a ton of examples of 6-day. That's not new. We've had that for a long time. So I think people kind of forgot that, and the 6 days stood out because it's not the normal 7 of the regular season. But teams play on 6 days rest a ton in the playoffs, so that's not abnormal.
Hey, JC, it feels like when Kareem comes into the game, he's about ready to burst out of his skin. Does it feel different when he comes in the huddle?
I mean, Kareem brings a ton of energy, and he runs extremely hard. And it's always exciting, having both of those guys where when one's coming in, when Nick's going out, Kareem's coming in, you got a fresh, really talented back ready to run hard for you. And it's been really, really good for us. So, whenever those guys start cycling in and out, it's tough on the defense because you're getting a really fresh, really talented running back coming in there, ready to push piles, ready to keep their legs churning. So it's always great seeing Kareem walk in the huddle.
What do you make of his running style?
I mean, it's intense, and he just keeps going, and he loves it. I mean, he loves the contact. It's really enjoyable to block for a guy like that.
It's easy considering how talented both of them are. It'd be easy if there would be friction between them over who's getting what touches and when and where and stuff like that. But they seem to really have a bond, and they seem, what does that do for the locker room when guys are that close, when they could really be somewhat competitive about who gets opportunities?
Well, I think both those guys care most all about winning. So it's not about the stats or anything. And if we do a good job, they both have shown they're going to put up plenty of numbers at the same time. I think they're both doing really well in rushing and receiving for Kareem as well. They're getting their touches, but I think what they care about is winning games. So there's no egos in that running back room. They just want to make sure we have more points at the end of the game than the other team.
Does that resonate throughout the locker room, though? Is that something that teammates notice?
Absolutely. I think that's the example set where everybody understands that this isn't about individual statistics. This isn't about accolades. This is about getting as many wins on the board for the Browns as possible, and the rest will all take care of itself.
You think it'll be louder in there than it was in Kansas City?
I think I mean, there are a lot of loud stadiums. So, I mean, KC's loud, Minnesota's loud, New Orleans is loud, Seattle. There's some really, really loud stadiums. This will be a good challenge for us in communication and making sure we're all on the same page. I'm sure that place will be rocking, and we'll have a good plan set up for how we handle it.
How does the Vikings front compare to that Bears front?
Another really this will be a good challenge for us too. I mean, a really talented front. Michael Pierce coming over from Baltimore, so we have some experience with him. Delvin Tomlinson coming over from the Giants, so we played him last year. Really good edge rushers as well. I mean, just really talented across the front line, and their linebackers, another really talented group. So that front seven will be a good challenge for us. Just a really talented group, really smart group as well, and they have a great scheme, a lot of disguise. So it'll be another good challenge for us as a team.
You have to hear Shelby a little bit too, probably, right?
Yeah, it'll be good to see him. I really enjoyed. We were locker mates for most of it, so it'll be good to see him and say hello. But I'm sure he'll be ready to roll as well.
Do you think he'll shut up during the whole game?
He'll be talking. He'll be talking, but it'll be fun to lock horns with him and see him again.
Hey, I don't think we got your take on the Batonio Conklin TV commercial.
Yeah, that was. I mean, I've dissected that film pretty aggressively. I've talked to Jack about making sure he truly understands how to throw a football, because based off that hand motion, I'm not sure he's ever thrown one. But you know, I've tried to give them some pointers. Joel, I think, for any local business, must be the go-to guy for any possible commercial. I would reach out to his agent. I think he's a star in the making. But it's always funny to see those kind of, you know, so bad it's good commercials that come out probably once a year. So it's always fun to laugh about those.
Now, Joel doesn't have to give you a cut for this endorsement, does he? I just full disclosure here.
He doesn't have to, but you know, my hand's there if he wants to. So I won't mandate it, but if he wants to be a good friend, we'll see what he does.
Is the next lineman meal on them?
With how much they got, I think it needs to be.